Hey, you guys. So I have a lot of questions about the Charlie Kirk shooting, and we, the people, need some answers because the FBI findings, there's a lot of inconsistencies, in my opinion, a lot of holes. And I just feel like I just don't want what happened to JFK, Martin Luther King, and happened to Charlie Kirk. And especially what happened to Donald Trump last year when he almost got assassinated in Butler County, Pennsylvania, excuse me. And I just don't want history to repeat itself. And we, the people, need some transparency and some truth. What happened to Charlie Kirk, like what really happened, not the narrative that the mainstream media is reporting and saying and what the FBI is saying. We need to know the truth. And there's a lot of things that doesn't make sense to me that I would love some clarification. So welcome back, everyone. So that's it. Okay, you guys, so we need answers about the shooting of Charlie Kirk because nothing about the investigation is making any sense to me. Nothing whatsoever. And I know a lot of people have faith in our government. However, however, I do not have faith in our government. You know why? Because of the whole Epstein files. They still have not done anything to release the Epstein file. What they've been doing is giving pushbacks. And that I don't like, especially, at the time, these survivors were minors, okay? They were sexually assaulted, sex trafficking, all that, and they still have not released the files. So, how can I have faith in our government when they're hiding and keeping things from us and not being transparent and telling the truth? And I just feel like history is repeating itself, even though I wasn't alive with when JFK got assassinated and Martin Luther King, and we still haven't found out who killed them. With President Trump, what happened last year at the Pennsylvania Butler, we still haven't had it. We still haven't got any answers about his attempted assassination. I feel like everything is swept underneath the rug. I feel like we're not getting any truth or transparency about this, and I feel like it's the same thing with Charlie Kirk. That's the feeling that I'm getting because when listening to the investigation about Charlie Kirk, about the text messages between Robinson and Lance and what they're saying, something does not seem right. And again, I am not a detective, I am not a PI, but what I do know is I have common sense and I can read. And when I suspect something is off, I'm going to go with my gut feeling. And I believe something is off in this whole investigation. I took a lot of notes because I have a lot of questions. So if you see me on my phone, it's just questions that I have. That if anyone can shed some light of the questions that I'm going to ask, please feel free to reach out to me and email me and let me know because the people deserve answers. The people deserve the truth. What happened to Charlie Kirk? We don't want. No, I don't want any conspiracies. I don't want any. I'm a type of person. I like facts. I don't like fiction. I want real evidence, facts. I want real storytelling, not someone that's conning the whole thing and doing this whole conspiracy theory and saying this and that and posting it on their social media page, excuse me, to get like clicks and likes and get a lot of views. This is not what my YouTube channel is all about. It's not about that. It's about transparency. It's about truth, and it's about justice. So this will never ever happen again. And this is why. And I just want you want answers. I want answers, and none of it is making sense to me. So I just so what I wanted to share with you guys is this guy that I just follow on TikTok and his YouTube channel. His name is Heavy Duty Country. Thank you so much for serving our country. And he shed some light about information about the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Now he's a former, I believe, a Marine or Army, and he knows a lot about guns. I don't know anything about guns at all, so I can't even tell you what. I know what a rifle looks like, but I don't know. I'm not very educated or knowledgeable to tell you about guns or what everything, but he does. So I'm going to let you take a listen to what he has to say. It's a two-part video, so bear patient with me and really listen to what he has to say because it's very super important and he's not wrong and he's really spot on what he is saying. So take a listen to this gentleman.
The two faces don't add up. So did they get the suspect wrong? What exactly went on here? So the shooting happens. A lot of people think that this guy on the roof is the one who did it. I can't say for certain that this is not the guy who runs off the back of the building. But I can confidently say he does not have a gun when he's running away. It's not in his pants. He didn't break the entire gun down. That takes forever for that gun. And it's not up his ass, even though he probably would have really enjoyed it, knowing that he was dating a trans person. Who knows, maybe it was up his ass. That would make this thing make a lot of sense. No. There's no way a 48-inch gun is going that far up. Okay, y'all get the point. We don't need visual here. But he runs off the building. Then the FBI finds the gun in the woods during the daytime, and they've got flashlights all over it. Has anyone here ever used a flashlight when it is bright as day outside?
No.
Would it even come to mind? Would you even go to your pocket and say, you know what? My eyes just are permanently stuck on nighttime. So even though there's light outside, I need to make sure there's a flashlight on. Not. No. Then they release the images of the suspect. Then the suspect's father turns him in. That's a whole nother subject that we're going to go over on the podcast because that's wild. They bring him into court. It's all good. The question still remains, is this guy the shooter? Or was he just part of an operation? Was he a part of the...
Pause. So that's the question that I'm asking as well. Is this the shooter? Now, I believe there were more people involved in this because when the FBI released a photo of the suspect, which I'm going to show you a picture of, let me just give me 1 second. Okay, a picture. That's not it. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. Okay, the suspect of this picture, it does not look the same as the guy that was arrested, Tyler Robinson, okay? Completely different guy, which I'm going to circle back to that picture that I just showed you. But what I'm saying is it's two different people, okay? It's not the same person. Now, I'm not saying that Tyler Robinson didn't have nothing to do with it. He does have some type of involvement in Charlie Kirk's shooting. However, I believe he was a decoy. I believe the real shooter was somewhere else, okay? I don't believe that Tyler Robinson shot that rifle or whatever to into Charlie Kirk's neck. I believe that Robinson was a decoy. I believe that he was put there to believe that he was the shooter because a footage that I'm going to show you when he jumped out of the roof, he didn't have the rifle on him, okay? He just had a towel, a dark towel. There was no rifle. So, again, there's a lot of holes, a lot of inconsistency, and none of it is making sense. And this man is spot on what he is saying. So let's continue.
Discord messages. Here are a couple thoughts. One, he was connected but didn't do it. I'm not saying he didn't. But that would be one solution to the, well, where's the gun? Right. And he's running away. The second would be he found out about this and maybe got conned into being a decoy. Like, hey, we're going to do this, go up to the building. Then he heard the shot, freaked out, and ran away. To me, that's what makes the most sense.
I agree.
Because otherwise, the gun would have not been in the woods. It would have been on top of the building, or it would have been a different gun. Now, there are a lot of people who broke down the shooting. A lot of people have said that he was wearing body armor. At first, it didn't look like it to me. But I was looking at a bunch of different videos, and I saw one that very clearly outlines body armor. A lot of people said that it may have hit the top of the body armor, bounced off, and hit him in the neck. For me, the problem with that theory is it is almost a guarantee that that bullet is going to somewhat fragment, especially if it's a level 3 or higher plate. It could have not, but in my opinion, if it's bouncing off something, the entry is going to be bigger. There have also been other theories that the guy just shot him straight in the neck. Maybe he was aiming for his head, and they missed low because they were shooting from a high point. The problem is there's no exit from that angle. And nobody on Earth is going to tell me that a 30-06 going anywhere from 3,000 to 2,700 feet per second is not going to have an exit wound. I've deer hunted my entire life. I've hog hunted most of my life. Not once, going through rib cages, going through bone, has there not been an exit wound with a 30-06. And the body of a deer is way wider than a human's neck. I don't know how much this makes sense to people, but some of them are 1.5 feet wide. So in my opinion, that doesn't make sense. Then the other day I had this video sent to me, and this is by far the most shocking footage that I've seen. Why don't we just start with the footage? But here's what I want y'all to watch. There is a muzzle flash that is coming from a window. If you're looking at Charlie Kirk from the crowd, up and to the left, which makes the most sense to me as far as him being shot in the other side of the neck and this being an exit wound. Check this out.
Keep your eye on this space here where the red circle is as the next clip plays. To me, I first seen this and thought straight away, holy shit, that is the bullet. It matches the exit wound. It also matches the shirt puffing up and the angle of the entry and exit. I needed another angle just to see if this was actually fact, trying to get as much info as I could before I posted anything.
Okay. Now, what are your thoughts? Because this is making a lot of sense opposed to what the FBI is saying. Because what the FBI is saying doesn't make any sense. It doesn't line up to where Charlie Kirk was underneath the tent and where the bullet was hitting. Now, when this gentleman described it on the TikTok video, that's more logical. That makes more sense. And again, I'm not a bullet or a gun expert, but the way he explained it, that makes actual sense. Now, I'm going to let you listen to part 2 of the whole diagram of the other shooter, because again, I believe Robinson was a decoy, and the real shooter was on the other side of the campus, okay? I believe he probably was the east side of the building, okay, where he can target Charlie Kirk, where he was sitting, where he was positioned underneath the tent. And then this gentleman is going to explain to you step by step the diagram, the whole setup, how it's clearly impossible that Robinson would have took the shot. So take a listen to what this gentleman have to say. And I'm just going to make it a little bigger for you guys so you can see. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right.
In the middle of that triangle area, it would appear that the shooter was up here somewhere. That's the angle that the bullet was coming down from. It all makes sense to me. Pretty crazy. I think if we pan around and look at where the media and where everyone else is saying that the bullet come from and giving scenarios on ricochets and different bullets and bits and pieces, it doesn't make sense for it to come from this from the rooftop over here. It's
impossible.
It doesn't line up with.
So pretty wild stuff. There are a lot of theories here. There are a lot of ideas, but I'm just going to flat out say this is what makes the most sense to me. The first video shows a clear muzzle flash. There are also a lot of people saying from the crowd that it sounded like a 22, maybe a handgun. It did not sound like a 30-06. A 30-06 is very, very loud. If it truly was a 30-06, the entire crowd would have ducked or jumped out of their seat. I don't know how many of y'all have shot at a property maybe that's completely surrounded by trees or even under an awning at a shooting range. The sound is amplified like crazy. And this place was pretty much a stadium as far as it being completely surrounded by buildings. So if it was a 30-06, it would have been super loud. Here's the first theory for me. The shooter was actually in those windows. The trajectory of the bullet, we can see something on there going through his neck, out the other side. That is the most plausible explanation of all of this so far.
I agree.
The fact that he slumped over this way with the trajectory of the round is also a pro in that column. The question that I have, and something that we may never find out, is do those windows open? Did somebody punch a hole in one of those windows? How many people were in that building? Here's what I will say. The information that has came out so far about this entire thing is a complete crock. I don't buy any of it. Because it's all speculation at this point. We have the text from the alleged shooter and his girlfriend or boyfriend or cat. I really don't know what this dude's sexuality was. And it ultimately doesn't matter.
No,
people are playing this as a card where the media is to try to...
Pause. I know where he's getting at, and I agree with it. That the media is spinning that this is a trans, blah, 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 just to distract us. Just like that crazy man, George Zinn, the 70-year-old man, said, I shot Charlie Kirk. Who in their right freaking mind would do that? Why would you praise and say that you shot a man when you actually didn't? Also, I feel like he's a decoy boy as well. I feel like he has something to do with it. He's probably wasn't part of it. That's just my feeling, my gut feeling that I'm going with. Because who in their freaking effing mind will say you shot someone when you actually didn't? Okay? And on top of that, he's a pervert, okay? Because apparently, when the police officers was going through his phone, he had 20 explicit pictures of young children, okay, at the under age of 5 of kiddie porn. Disgusting. So I'm glad they're going to charge him with objective service. Charges. I can't even get the word out of my mouth because I'm just so disgusted about this man. Okay, let me just pause this for a minute because I'm just disgusted. Okay, that, he just say that he shot Charlie Kirk when he actually didn't. And on top of that, he had 20 images of young children kiddie porn. Okay, disgusting. And I hope they throw the book at this old, disgusting, creepy man because he is a pervert, a disgusting pervert. And I know I'm going off, but it really infuriates me when people do that. And he's sharing these pictures to other perverts out there. Disgusting. So I hope they lock up the key with this old, disgusting man. And again, I feel like he has something to do with it. But like I said, the mainstream media, they're trying to distract us and saying this is trans, this is this, instead of like focusing on the real truth. They're trying to distract us. And we don't need any distractions, okay? We want the truth, okay? So stop using your narrative and saying that the trans this and trans that when it have nothing to do with it. There was more than one person was involved in this shooting, okay? It was not this man, Tyler Robinson. He knows more than he's telling. He's not saying anything. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's protecting people, okay? I believe, and this is just my gut feeling, I believe there was some type of organization that was involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, okay? I believe that people had different parts and different roles in an event of what happened to Charlie Kirk. That's just my thoughts. And the FBI knows it too, but they're just not doing anything wrong. They just say, okay, we got this guy, case closed, that's it, he's guilty, when there's more people involved in this. And why they're not investigating it? Why they're not investigating more people? Why did this gun-ho or just saying, this is the guy and that's it, case closed? Wrong. There's more to it than that. And the people deserve, especially his wife, deserve truth and transparency. And why are you covering, hiding things up? And that's what it looks like. And I'm not saying it. A lot of people are saying it, okay? A lot of people are saying it. And then I know people say, oh, you're crazy. You're going in a rabbit hole of conspiracy. No. Facts are facts. Truth is truth. And what I'm saying is the truth, okay? This is not some whole conspiracy thing because I'm not with the conspiracy nonsense, okay? I want truth. And what I'm saying makes more logical sense. And what that gentleman is saying makes more sense opposed to what the FBI is telling us, okay? So just keep in mind, use your judgment. Don't believe everything that you hear or see. Put things together and make your own conclusions, what you think that really happens. And not just to get clicks and likes and views, but really, because again, this was a human being that was assassinated, okay, live. So let me just calm down, just enraged because it's just disgusting that they gaslight us. They're telling us one thing and then it's not really the truth. And I don't like that. I like truth and transparency. If they get it wrong, just say, you know what, we got it wrong. We got it wrong. Because they said they got the suspect. Cash Patel, we got the suspect when actually they didn't get the suspect. They just he just automatically said we got the suspect while the other perpetrators were running and doing their thing when they didn't even do their own further investigation to find out if this was the real shooter or not because he didn't have any weapons on him. He just shot out, said that I did it. I shot him. Shoot me. Just for a diversion to distract everyone. I just don't understand how people don't see that. Meaning the FBI, how they don't see that. Again, they're just playing this whole narrative for us to believe what they're saying. And truthfully, I don't buy it. I don't buy it for a second. Sorry, let's continue. My apologies with my ranting. I know I can do that a lot.
Create this story where all of us get distracted at the facts of the case.
In an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon,
I'm going to show you this
where
clip
it was
in
hidden,
a
how
bit.
it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect.
Pause. This reporter make it seem like this was like Romeo and Juliet. This intimate text message. Hello, this man just shot someone and texted his lover that he lived with that he did it. How the F is romantic? Are you crazy? Is this reporter crazy? I just don't understand the insanity that I'm watching and hearing that this reporter is saying. Like a love story? Really? This man committed murder. Allegedly, because we don't know if Tyler is the real shooter. I feel like I said, he's the decoy. The real shooter is someone else because, like I said, there's multiple people involved in this. We just don't know who. But the FBI is saying that it's him, Tyler Robinson, which I'm telling you, it's not only him. There's other people involved. And this idiot reporter saying all this crazy nonsense love story. What love story? What love story? And I'm going to read you the text. It's just absurd. Absurd.
Roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children, which is one of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner.
Get serious.
We want to know who the actual shooter was.
Exactly.
We want to know where the actual shot was placed.
Right.
We want to know what everything went into this. Because as of now, the government thinking that, we can just put out a couple of texts. Clearly, they've been doctored. Clearly, there's shit missing. I mean, look at the conversation. It's comical. Judging from today, I'd guess Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think that was a $2,000 scope. Delete this exchange. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He says Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. First of all, that gun is not unique. Like, it's not Granddaddy's old rifle that's got engravings from the damn Civil War in it. It's not a unique rifle. It's a very normal rifle that you could go to literally any gun shop and find something very similar to it. So, I mean, I have to ask, are these really real texts?
I don't think so.
Like, what are all the dots on top of
That's
Robinson?
a smiley face.
Is that deleted messages?
No.
Is that etc.? Since Trump got into office, my dad has been pretty diehard MAGA. Why would you be talking about that after you just shot a guy?
Right.
Why does that matter at this point? See what I mean? Like, these texts don't really make sense after you just shot somebody. They would be way more like, hey, got to get rid of the gun, got to do this, got to do that. I mean, ultimately, texts at all don't make any sense. If this dude had a lick of sense...
Okay. So I'm going to read to you the text messages that was exchanged between the both of them entirety. Because I agree with this gentleman. Nothing makes sense. The text message doesn't make any sense. Let me just break it down to you, okay? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If I was a freaking criminal, a psychopath, and I committed a crime, okay, and I killed someone, you think I'm going to text somebody what I did? Hello, the FBI, the government, they can go through your phone and retrieve every text messages you have texted. People don't watch Dateline. People don't watch that. I watch Dateline. I see what they do. And I'm not even a detective. It's common sense. I don't understand why people just don't have to use their brain, okay? if you commit a crime, you don't text someone. This doesn't make any sense. You will just not text at all. That's just common sense. You don't not release, but you just don't out yourself that you did something. You know what I mean? And that's clearly what this text message is. But again, is it really these two communicating with each other, or is it AI, or is it? I feel like they add this stuff in, redact it. None of this text makes sense. And I'm going to read to you the text messages between Robinson and the roommate Lance in entirety. Okay, so here we go. Okay, after reading the note, the roommate respond, "What? You're joking?" Robinson, "I am still okay, my love, but am stuck in a Hearn." I think that's the University of Utah for a while longer yet. Shouldn't be longer until I come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret until I die of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they catch the person. Robinson, no, they grab some crazy old dude, then interrogate someone in similar clothes. I planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town was locked down. It's quiet, quiet, almost enough to get out. But there is one vehicle lingering. Roommate, why? So, where was Robinson? And how did he know that they arrested the old guy? Decoy boy. So how did they know? How did he know that? Again, he was around. Continue on. Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I have to leave. I will have to leave no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have move on and I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can't get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think I already swept the spot, but I don't want to chance it. So basically, he doesn't want a chance going back and getting the rifle, if there was so-called a rifle there, because again, none of it doesn't make sense. I feel like this text message was trying to fit the FBI narrative for the people like us to believe what they're saying. Again, I don't believe any of these text messages. I feel like there's a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. But we're going to continue on and play. What's the word? Go along with it. Continue on. Robinson, I am wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got my vehicle. I am worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring it back. Grandpa's rifle. I don't know if I had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace it to me. I'm worried about prints. I had to leave it in the bush where I changed outfits. Again, the outfit changing. Let me just say this. A man would not say outfit. Okay, let's just be clear. A man would say clothing. A woman would say outfit. Like, how's my, you know what I mean? I'm going to pick this outfit for an event. You know what I mean? When you describe a man's clothing, a man would say clothing opposed to outfit. So it's just really off. See, I like to, look at details and stuff like that. But anyway, let's continue on. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope that they don't find the prints. How the beep will I explain losing it to my old man? Only thing I left was a rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets. That beep messages are most likely a big means, if I can see. Notice bulge UWU, don't know what that means, on Fox News. I might have to stroke, all right, I am going to have to leave it. That really beep sucks. Then he continue on. Robinson continue on. Judging from today, I said Grandpa's gun does just fit just fine. Excuse me. I don't know. I think that was a 2K scope smiley face. Robinson deleted this exchange. Again, Robinson. My dad wants photos of the rifle. He said Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it was very unique. And as you can see, what the gentleman said, the rifle is not very unique. Again, lies. And he's calling me, not answer. He's not answer. I'm not answering. Robinson. Since Trump got into office, just like the guy read, my dad had been a pretty diehard MAGA. Again, the guy is right. What that have to do with anything but Trump makes no sense to me. Again, I feel like this is all like planted because why would you mention Trump and MAGA? For what? Doesn't make any sense. But let's continue. Robinson continues to text. I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Robinson continued to text, you are all I worry about, love. Roommate, I am much more worried about you. Robinson, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. Now, none of these text messages make sense to me. Again, if you committed a crime, why even text message your partner about it? Doesn't make any sense. Again, you know they're going to retrieve it. You know they're going to question your roommate slash lover, boyfriend, whatever. Again, it just seems very convenient of this whole text messages. I'm not going to lie to you. And I don't buy it for one bit. I really don't. So, I don't have to show you the video of the ABC describing the touching text messages because it was not touching at all. It was very weird and sketch to me, so I'm not going to share that with you. But what I'm going to let you listen to is a 911 dispatch of a gentleman wearing all black clothing, okay, and had a black rifle. And he was on the east side of the campus library, okay? And that's where I believe that was the shooter who shot Charlie Kirk. So take a listen to the 911 dispatch, what they had to say.
One individual that was shot, unknown where the shooter went. UVU in Orem has had an active shooter at the Charlie Kirk event. We're getting several calls. We're trying to get more information. 418 copy. How many injured do we have? Just one person. Sounds like maybe another individual in the car. We're not sure if they're a patient or if they're just trying to get out of the area. We do have officers following the victim to Tiffin Urban Hospital. Just east of the library. He's wearing jeans, black shirt, black mask, long rifle.
You heard that, right? Jeans, black shirt, and a rifle. Now, I'm going to show you the picture of the suspect, okay? And no, that's not it. So the picture, the description that they're describing is just this man, okay? And you can't really see it, but it fits the description. Black pants, black shirt. He has some type of a bag with him. I believe, I could be wrong, that the gun was in that bag. Okay, that's just my theory of it. I'm just going with my gut theory and everything. I believe that was that gentleman that was on the east side of the library who took the shot of Charlie Kirk. That's what I believe. And then Robinson was the decoy boy. That's what I'm going to call him too. Just like George Zinn. Okay, I'm going to show you another picture of the man again, dressed in black. Now, in this picture, you don't see the gun, but you see bags. You see him with the dark glasses, his hair slicked back. Now, a lot of people are saying that that is a disguised face with his hand, look like a prosthetic hand. It's very blurry to me. I don't know. Is it possible? It could be. It could be. You know, when you have an assassin who wants to kill someone, they can dress up anybody. You know what I mean? They can look like anyone and blend in. so they don't show their actual face. It's possible. People have prosthetic face and hands and whatever. That does happen. I see it too much on TV and in movies. So what makes you think that it can't really happen in real life? It's possible. It's possible. It kind of fit the description of that person. Okay. Now, let me circle back and show you the picture of the suspect that the FBI was posting originally when they were still searching for the suspect when they were doing their manhunt. Now, the picture. Oh, I want to show you this video. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me. That would make more sense, and then I will show you the pictures. Sorry. Now pause. Doesn't it look like that guy that walked up the stairs? Which I'm going to show you another picture. It does not look like Robinson at all. You can just tell the structure bone, the face, and everything. Let me just circle it back and rewind to you guys so you can see it again. Look at the face, okay? I know that he has a dark sunglasses, but look at the face, and then when I hit play, look at the guy. Come on! Now, I'm just saying allegedly because I don't want to, accuse anyone, but it looks like that guy. It doesn't look like Robinson at all whatsoever. But let's continue. See? I'm sorry. It's two different people, okay? Does not look like Robinson out. Let me show you another video of this guy, in which I don't know his name, that was debating with Kirk, and he seemed very angry. Let me just, hold on. There we go. Let me just move this here. Come on. We just have to love technology, man. It works when it wants to work. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for you guys so you can see. Perfect. And lock it in. That's it. And I'm going to hit play and take a listen to the debate.
Has a right to life and not the right to be exterminated or extinguished.
Every human being has the right to life. You just said
Correct.
You broke death penalty. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so, all right, so
it can't be both.
Okay, yes, it can. So
wow, some lives are more important than others. That's what you're saying?
What did the person that was on death penalty do to get that punishment?
It depends on the crime.
They killed somebody. So
that's not
if you
true.
kill somebody, then your life should be taken from.
Not true.
Well,
it's dependent on the crime.
Hold on a second. Show me an instance of somebody who got the death penalty in America.
Don't burden me with the responsibility of educating.
Show me an instance of somebody who got the death penalty in America the last 30 years that did not commit a capital offense.
I don't need to.
It does not exist.
Does not exist. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the picture of what the FBI released. Like I said. Well, actually, before I do that, yeah, this is it. This is the footage that the FBI released of the man on top of the roof, which we didn't know at the time who it was. We just knew that there was a man on top of the roof, and he climbed down and tried to escape once the gunshot was fired. Now, this is my theory, okay? Once the gunshot was fired at a different angle, at a different side, which I don't understand why the FBI is not showing that angle. They're only focusing on the rooftop, but they're not focused on the other angle where the possibility that where the bullet would hang. I don't get it. They should have forensics. They should have all this stuff. They should have CSI. That show, I don't get it why they're not having it. I know, that show is completely different than real life because I don't watch that show. But my gosh, why did I do a forensic and all that other stuff? I don't understand. They're so focused on the rooftop of where Robinson was, but they're not focused on the other angles. And on top of that, you guys, there's freaking cameras all over the campus. Why are they not showing the whole footage? Why are they showing half-assed? Again, nothing makes sense. They want to paint a narrative for us to see that we can accept and not ask questions. Okay, this is the narrative. This is what happened to Charlie Kirk, and that's it. But no, we have questions because a lot of what you're saying pokes holes, and we have questions. I have questions. Why not focus on the other angle, on the other side? Again, it doesn't make any sense. But again, let's take a look at the video. Sorry. Oops, let me put that on. Where is it? There we go. Okay. Now, pause. Now, I know it looks very fuzzy, but I don't see a rifle, okay? The only thing he left was a screwdriver up in the rooftop, okay? I don't see anything. The only thing I see is something dark that he was holding, and that seemed like a towel. Think about it, okay? I'm just gonna put myself in his head, because he's crazy and deranged. Think about it. He's going on top of the rooftop, okay, as a diversion because he didn't really have the gun, okay? He had a towel because it's probably hot, because it was probably hot at that time, and he laid on top of the roof with his towel. I don't know why he got a screwdriver. I do not know. None of it makes sense to me. But this is just my logical thinking that he was just sitting there and waiting until the time. Okay, obviously he didn't have a phone or anything, but whoever he spoke to, the actual shooter, probably told him once I fired that bullet, it's time for you to leave. Okay, again, distraction, decoy, whatever. It just makes more sense, you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a logical point here, and it seemed like what I'm explaining and what that gentleman explained in his TikTok video makes more logical sense to me. But let's go. Where's the gun? You grab the towel, the dark towel, and start running. Like, where is it? Like, I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, and I'm going to show you a picture. Now I'm going to blow this up and show you guys. And this is the same guy. Whoops. So you guys can see here. I know it's covering my face, but that's okay. Now this makes more logical sense. Okay, this seemed like the same guy, the same person with the structured cheekbones and everything. That do not look like Robinson at all whatsoever. I'm sorry, it does not. Okay, let me show you a better picture. To me, that looked like more of that guy than the other guy. I don't know. Help me out, guys. You know what I mean? That's why we need to know some answers, because none of it is making sense to me. And I just wish I can show you this footage. Oh my gosh, of the description of what the guy is saying. And I wish I would have grabbed it on my put it on my thing, because it just makes more sense. And maybe I can do it. Just hold on patiently with me, guys, and hopefully I can. If I can't, then I will show it to you guys next time. But it just makes more sense. It really does. How he described how the angle of the rooftop and then the angle of the other place. Whoops, excuse me. And how it is. But you know what? If you can just be patient with me, this is super important. I forgive me for not doing this, but it's super important for me to share it with you guys before I let you go. Before I go, excuse me, let you go. That's fun. But anyway, before I go, because it's super important for you guys can have an image how it went down and how it's more sensible. Not sensible, how more it's more common sense how the way it actually happened opposed to what the FBI is telling us, because what the FBI is telling us doesn't make any sense. And again, I am not a shooter, I'm not a gun person, but just the way that the man described it, how when Tyler was up in the rooftop and how he pulled the trigger, it doesn't make sense for that bullet to fly all the way where Charlie Kirk was, opposed to the real shooter. Not saying that Robinson don't have nothing to do with it. He had some part of it. I just want to make that very, very crystal clear. He had some part of it, for sure. But he was not the shooter. That's what I'm trying to clarify. He was not the shooter. He had every part of this whole assassination, but he was not the shooter. The real shooter was on the other side of the campus, and I believe it was the east side of the campus in the library, when he took the shot and shot Charlie Kirk. It's just the way that Charlie Kirk fell over and how he grabbed his neck. That made more sense. And again, let me just bear patient with me while I retrieve the video so I can show it to you guys because it's super, super important for you to take a look at this. So hold on and bear patient with me, okay? So let's see the video. Just be very quick. Now I'm more savvy with the technology thing a little bit, even though, you know, I'm a one-woman show and I'm doing everything by myself, which is great.
Keep your eye on this space here.
Okay, see? See, that was easy peasy. It was not bad at all, right? Right. So here we go. Thank you for your patience, you guys. I love you for... Whoop, there we go. Okay. All right. So take a listen to this whole reenactment of what really, really happened.
Where the red circle is as the next clip plays. To me, I first seen this and thought straight away, holy shit, that is the bullet. It matches the exit wound. It also matches the shirt puffing up and the angle of the entry and exit. I needed another angle just to see if this was actually fact, trying to get as much info as I could before I posted anything. And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
So you're not counting gang violence. Great.
You see the flashing, the muzzle flash? Let me rewind back, okay?
So...
Wait, let me go back. Let me circle back. That's super important. That's a muzzle flash. And the reason why I know about this because what the gentleman said in his TikTok video, he didn't say it, but when I was watching his YouTube video, he even said it, that flash. Now, why the FBI is not saying that? Why they're not pointing that out? Again, make it make sense because none of it makes sense to me. None of it whatsoever.
Again, I needed another angle. I found this video, and this one's a little bit harder to see, but you can see something go down into the back right-hand side of Charlie. So from this, looking at Google Earth...
Wait, sorry. Let me go all the way back. I'm sorry. It's super important.
And drawing...
It's not even showing... It's not rewinding the whole thing. I am so sorry, guys. Hold on. Because it's super important for you guys to see this, because to see that flash. I know it's kind of blurry, but you can see it because I saw it. So it's super important. So just bear with me. I just had to like rewind it back and hopefully it will circle back and work in my favor because this is very, very important. And while that's doing that, why they're not showing that side? Because again, there's cameras everywhere, every angle of that campus. I don't understand why they're so gung-ho and focused on that rooftop. They should be focusing on every area of that campus. But why that specific one? I just don't understand. That's what something doesn't seem right with me. And I just don't understand. This was a public figure, a man of God, a man that all he wanted to do is just serve God and do God's purpose and go to different campuses and just have a debate. And this is what the FBI is doing. Like, how dare you? Like, how dare you do that? You're doing an injustice service for Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry. And I may be wrong for saying that, but it's just wrong and disrespectful. Like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to cover up and not tell the whole story? Now, I know you're still under your investigation. You can't tell the public everything, but at least tell the truth. At least show every angle. Why are you showing a half-ass angle? That part I don't understand. And like, why? Why? Someone just got assassinated. Like, I don't understand. You would think they learned their lesson. And I know this is before their time. But again, who am I fooling? This is the government here, okay? Well, why would I think the government would do anything right? There are some good people. There are some bad ones. And sometimes I hope to believe that the good weighs the bad. You know, again, we're battling a spiritual warfare between good and evil. And I will hope and pray that good would win versus evil. But there are a lot of evil people. There are a lot of bad actors, bad people out there that are not willing to expose the truth, but they're willing to cover up the truth. And I just want to make it very clear, the truth always wins. It may take longer, you may not know, but it always wins, okay? So I just hope and pray that whoever's investigating in Charlie Kirk shooting, that they do the right thing and tell the truth and be very transparent and not be half-assed about it, okay? Because it's just not right, okay? This is an American man who died, okay? Who was a patriot, who loved his country, who put God, family, and his country first, okay? So let me see if I can...
Keep your eye on this space here where the red circle is as the next clip plays. To me, I first seen this and thought straight away, holy shit, that is the bullet. It matches the exit wound. It also matches the shirt puffing up and the angle of the entry and exit. I needed another angle just to see if this was actually fact, trying to get as much info as I could before I posted anything. And in that video, you can see the same, what appears to be the bullet coming down, and it does line up with the actual gunshot itself.
So you're not counting gang violence. Great.
You see it? You see the flash? I saw the flash. I hope you guys... That's the flash. The muzzle flash.
So, again, I needed another angle. I found this video, and this one's a little bit harder to see, but you can see something go down into the back right-hand side of Charlie. So from this, looking at Google Earth and drawing a line from where I believe the shooter was, his tent being set up in the middle of that triangle area, would appear that the shooter was up here somewhere. That's the angle that the bullet was coming down from. It all makes sense.
Absolutely, makes sense.
To me, pretty crazy. I think if we pan around and look at where the media and where everyone else is saying that the bullet come from and giving scenarios on ricochets and different bullets and bits and pieces, it just doesn't make sense for it to come from this.
Absolutely
from the rooftop over here. It's
clearly.
It doesn't line up with
it doesn't.
What appears to be the bullet anyway. However, when we come and look from this point of view, I'll just swing this around so we can get a better idea.
And that's the east side of the building.
What's around here? You can see there's rooftop access there, but there's also a staircase down in the little alley there, in that little nook. So to me, it's pretty obvious that the shooter was most likely here somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere on those stairs would be my tip, and if the FBI aren't looking there, I don't know why.
Boom. I don't know why either. That makes logical sense. That diagram, everything. Because the other one, it doesn't. It doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit how, I don't understand why the FBI is not showing this. I don't know why. Make it make sense, please. Again, I am not an investigator. I am not a PI. I just have common sense, and I've been doing extensive research and reading the report and everything. None of it makes sense. Why? And I would like to know why. We would like to know why. We need to know the truth. And again, it doesn't make any sense, you guys. And, I'm very doubtful. I really don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in Charlie Kirk's case. I hope that the truth comes out. I hope that the government said there were more than one people were involved in this, because I believe that there was. I don't believe it was just only Robinson. I believe that George, that mystery guy who was wearing the red shirt and the black shorts, that other mystery guy that was wearing black shirt and black jeans. I feel like more people are involved, and the FBI is not investigating. They're not ruling out any suspect. They just say, this is our guy, that is it. We're not going to investigate more on the roommate, that is it. When it seemed like that roommate seemed very creepy. He liked the dark web and stuff like that. His family even said some stuff about him that he was not normal. He had issues. He had problems. I just don't understand why the FBI is not investigating that. You cannot rule everyone out. Everyone's a suspect until you rule them out. Everyone's a suspect. You got to question everything. You have to look at every footage. And I just feel like they're just doing half-ass. Look at every footage. That do we have to wait 5 years, 10 years later to say, oh, by the way, we got the wrong guy? Then this is the right person. No, 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 no. It's not going to be like that, and it shouldn't be like that. Do your investigation. Do your job. That's what our taxpayer. That's what my tax paying you and other people. Do your job. Find the real perpetrators, because there are more perpetrators out there. It's not only just Robinson, okay? I don't want to wait until 5 years, 10 years later until you realize, oh, we got the wrong guy. We killed the wrong guy. He was actually not a shooter, but he was involved. The real shooter's out there. You get what I'm saying? The real shooter's out there. It's not Robinson. It's someone else. And I just don't understand why they're not investigating and investigating deeper. It's just upsetting to me. And I know it's upsetting to some people. Okay, I don't believe this narrative, meaning the text messages. I don't believe it. I just don't. Okay, none of it makes sense. A lot of people are saying that, especially ex-Marines and former Army vets and stuff like that. It doesn't make sense. We have eyes that we see. We know. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. And you're trying to make it seem like, oh, this is the guy, and for us to forget about it. But no, I'm not going to drop it, because I deserve, and everyone else deserves, the truth about what happened to Charlie Kirk. Because what happened to him was just unthinkable. And it shouldn't have happened to him at all. And people deserve the truth, especially his wife, Mrs. Erica Kirk, and their 2 children. She deserved the truth. She deserves some transparency. First of all, she lost her husband. She's a widow, okay? Those children will never see their father again. So I would believe, out of respect and courtesy, you will do the right thing for Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica, okay? And not spin this narrative on her and the whole world, okay? I would think that you would do the decency in telling the truth, if the government is capable of doing that. Again, I lost all hope in the government, because they lie, 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 and lie. They are not capable of telling the truth. They tell half-assed truth, what we want to hear, gaslight us, and that's it. And make it seem like we're the crazy one, because we're putting things together. And then when we do put things together, and when it actually makes sense, and it's actually the truth, you're crazy. You're conspiracy theories. You're this and that to make you go nuts. Well, no, I'm not going nuts, because this is common sense. And I'm not even going to a rabbit hole, because again, I'm into facts. I'm into truth. And that's what I'm seeking for. That's what I'm seeking for. And right now, I'm not getting the truth. It's just this gut feeling that I'm having. I'm not getting that at all. And I believe that Mrs. Erica Kirk deserved that. She deserved the truth, what really happened to her husband. And again, I'm going to keep repeating it until I am blue in the face. There were more than one person involved in this. I believe there are multiple people involved in this. Okay? And please, government, FBI, whoever, do your job. Investigate more, okay? Because you got one person, but there's more people out there that were involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination, okay? Please. That's all I have to say about that, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this video. Honestly, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about this whole thing that I just revealed to you guys and what I just talked about? I would love to hear your comments. Please comment below. And if you have any tips, any videos, or please share it with me, and I will definitely share it on my channel with you guys, and then we can just discuss it. Because listen, we want truth. We want transparency. We want to know who else was involved in this. Because again, there were multiple people involved in this assassination, not only one person. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you so much for you guys for watching, and I love you all. And thank you so much for the kind words and comments of Charlie Kirk and his passing. And stay safe and love one another. And I see you guys next time.